Well, everybody, by far one of the best things I've put on my boat in the last few years is right behind me up there on top of my cabin, the Psionics night vision camera. That thing has just transformed how I fish and boat in the dark. The safety aspect of that camera is just absolutely mind-blowing. So in the next clip, I'm going to show you how this thing works in the dark, and it's going to blow your mind. So I hope you enjoy this and hope you pick up a little hint there. G'day everybody, and welcome to Fergie's Boating Hints. So today I'm going to show you a very quick and easy way to clean your boat fenders up. If you have a look, that fender of mine, you can see how black it is. But most of that black is from two things. One from jetties, because I store them against my bow rails here, the stainless is just leaving black scuffs on them. I'm going to show you a very quick and easy way to clean that and any other little scuffs you also get on your gel coat. Something people don't realise. This little product here your wife has in the kitchen, you might have it as well, called Jif. Jif is actually a cream cleaner, and it's a very, very light cutting compound. So if I put a little bit of that on my rag here, you should be able to see that the camera see all that blackness here. And just like this, no real rubbing, just a light rub like that. What was black is now white. I just put a little bit more. We'll do that other black section here, so you should be able to see that on the camera. Just a bit of a quick rub, bit of elbow grease. Nothing stupid though. And that is just cleaned up the white fender. So the same thing, if you've got any little light scuffs on your boat, just little dirty marks, a little bit of Jif around your transom in the engine mold there. Jif's very good for cleaning up that staining that dries off in there. So I hope that little boating hint has helped somebody. Have a great day and tight lines. Well, welcome to one of Fergie's Boating Hints. So I'm going to show you another use for a sea anchor. Some people call them a drogue, parachute, but your sea anchor there. Quickly on that one there, so I've got the sea anchor here, and there's two ropes. This pinky rope, this is actually tied to the back of that and runs all the way to the front as well. Why? Because that's such a big parachute. Try and pull that in when the tide's running is very, very hard work. When you have a rope attached to the back of it, you simply pull that rope, it collapses the parachute, and you pull it back in the boat a lot easier. There's a handy hint. Now, what I'm doing, getting this out for right now, I'm at anchor. Normally you'd use this when I'm offshore drifting to slow down the drift. But I've got an outgoing tide and I've got a swell rolling through here. I'm fishing in an entrance at the moment. The swell is rolling in from the east. Now I've got only about 40 minutes left in this tide, and what's already happening is that swell and that little bit of light breeze with it is just pushing me over here. Now that's going to mean I'm going to end up sitting angled out here when the tide is still running. Not ideal. I'm going to have to fish out the side. Once you get the slack water, you can't control that. What I can do with this sea anchor, onto this side here, so on my driver's side over here, on the starboard side I have tied off my drogue. Why? Because the wind's coming this way and the current's running down here. So if I deploy this sea anchor out this side here in a moment, what's actually going to happen, it's going to fill up with water tied to the back of the boat. It's going to pull me into the current, which is going to straighten my boat up, and that alone is going to allow me to fish right through to almost the dead slack tide before my boat will spin. If I didn't put this out, with that bit of swell and that bit of breeze, I'll get to probably 30-40 minutes left in the tide, prime bite time, and the boat will spin around there and tangle all my rods. That's just another simple use for your sea anchor, guys. Hope that's helped somebody. So everybody, just a little handy hint. See that thing? It's called a bung plug. You probably should put it in before you launch. Yep, I stuffed up. Yep, I'm owning it. Pretty lucky I got back in the boat to go off and there was a bit of water on the floor. Thought, oh shit, but no bung. Oh well, happens to all of us. Well, g'day everybody and welcome to a Fergie's Boating Hint. I've had a lot of people reach out and ask me how I do my fenders. I can't walk around the front of my boat here to get to my fenders to deploy it, and when I'm fishing solo, I'm about to deploy it and retrieve it. So what I've actually got on the front here is a clip. That's a bimini clip that they use for making the biminis on your boat. I've got my rope to the front of the fender here, and then I've got about 4mm cord here that runs back into my cabin. Quite quickly, that is tied up inside my cabin, so it's all nice and tight here. So when I'm traveling, the fender doesn't move. All I do is untie that rope inside my cabin, reach around with the slack, give it a flick like that. The fender's deployed, protecting this beautiful wrap. Now when I drive away from the dock and I want to be able to retrieve that fender, all I do from in the cabin is pull that rope, it rolls the fender back up on there like that, and I tie that fender rope back up in the cabin. So that's nice and tight back in my cabin, the fender won't bounce around. So a little clip at the front to hold it to the bow rail. You may even be able to tie it to your bow rail depending on where your supports are. A little light rope, about 4mm braid, back into the cabin, and that locks it all in and makes it easy to deploy on my own. I hope that's helped somebody. Thanks for watching Fergie's Boating Hints. Well, g'day everybody. Had a cracking session on the squid. Now I'm just going to show you a way of looking after your calamari. It is too good to not look after properly. So whether you're going to use it for bait or you're going to eat it, a really good and simple way of looking after it on the boat. So get yourself a bucket of water. You want it pretty full because you want a fair bit of water pressure in here. And a good quality Ziploc bag. Now, the squid, beautiful squid, it's been dispatched nicely. What I do is put him down in the bag. He's only just going to fit, which is good. Now what I'm going to do is Ziploc that up from both sides, but not all the way. Alright, so what I've done is just left the gap in the middle. Now what I'm going to do is submerge that in the water and push it around the outside of the bucket. I don't know if you hear that on the camera, but you can hear all the air just squashing out of that bucket, out of the bag. So what you do is just do that, so Ziploc it all the way except for just a little bit in the middle, leave about probably an inch open. And now you'll see this in a minute. I've submerged that in the water around the side of the bucket. Look at that. That is almost vacuum packed. It's almost like it's been through a vacuum sealer. So whether I'm going to eat that squid or I'm going to use it for bait, that is in prime condition. It will freeze beautifully. Take it out of the freezer a couple of months later, still good enough for food grade. So make sure you look after your catch, guys. There's no good going to all the effort of catching it if you don't look after it.